Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys had a good, what I would call today, the opening day with the massive slate. We'll see if I'm gonna cash. I think I will. I have a pretty good lineup. But the only downside is I don't have Davion Mitchell. But for you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Chuck. I make NBA, NFL, DFS content. All these videos that get posted over to a subreddit, I'll have that link down below. If you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on X right there. And if you're looking for more in-depth content, sportsbook plays, all that good jazz, I'll have my Discord link down below. Alrighty, guys, I need to tilt. I have not tilted once in my life, but let me tell you guys my lineup first for tonight. Donovan Mitchell, Zion Williamson, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Cade Cunningham, who's sucking, Kristaps Porzingis, P.J. Washington, Jalen Tyson, and someone else. Who did I mention? Let me just go point guard to shooting guard. So I had Donovan Mitchell, VJ Edgecombe, Jalen Tyson, Zion Williamson, Kalkbrenner, Cade Cunningham, P.J. Washington, Kristaps Porzingis. I believe that's what it was. A pretty good lineup. Don't have Davion. Cade's screwing me, but I think it'll min cash. We'll see. Time to tilt. I had two sportsbook plays tonight. Do you guys want to see how insane this is? How bad I run? The first sportsbook play I had was Jalen Suggs under 14.5 PRA. He played 5 first half minutes, had 11 PRA at half. 5 first half minutes, by the way. Ends with 15, 16 minutes and goes over. I also live bet his under 12.5 points at halftime when he only had 5 first half minutes. Hits the last shot with 20 seconds left on the clock. I think I had like $2,000 on Jalen Suggs today. Like, I'm not even kidding. Worst, probably the best bet on the entire board today. Just gets absolutely cooked. Let's go to my next bet that I had today. I had Kevin Porter Jr. over 19.5 points plus assists. And you would think he had 12 PA in 9 minutes and gets injured. I love this. I'm homeless. I am homeless. Alright, no more tilting. I'm done with tilting. I don't tilt on this channel anymore, but this is just absurd, man. Alright, let's go over the slate. OKC at Indiana. Good thing with two teams on the slate, we have seen both of these teams play. Not Indiana, OKC and Golden State. But there is news here. J-Dub out. Casey is questionable. Lou Dort questionable. So, if everyone's in here, we also have a Caruso out. I mean, with no Caruso, you're just going to have a really big role for these value guys in Case Moss, Aaron Wiggins. I think they're two of the best value plays on the board, assuming they play. So I really like those guys. AJ Mitchell's probably going to have to play a bit more. I absolutely love SGA up at the top at 10.5K. Fine spot for him. Chet Holmgren at 7.5K should play big minutes with no J-Dub. I don't think anyone's going to be able to defend him on the perimeter, right? He should just be able to tower over everyone here. So I think all these guys are really good plays. So once again, love SGA at 10.5K. Good spot. Should play close to 40 minutes. This is not updated. I don't know why they're not updating it yet. But he played 47 minutes in double overtime. Obviously, he's going to stuff the stat sheet. His assist numbers are up. They were up in the playoffs. That's continuing so far this year. Obviously, an elite score. Good spot. Pace up spot as well. Pacers should play quicker. As long as this game stays competitive, I think he'll have a really, really good game here. And then Casey Wallace, man, played 41 minutes in double overtime. I think with no Caruso, they're just going to have to play him a ton of minutes at 4.5K. So I think he looks great. Chet Holmgren at what's his price? 7.5K, I believe it is. 7.5K. I don't think anyone's going to be able to guard him. Good 3-point shot. Good 3-point matchup for him as well. I mentioned that last game. He went over his threes. And I also had a long shot with Chet and SGA threes and some other plays that all hit. And SGA was the only one who missed. And he shot, I believe it was 10 3-pointers, 9 or 10 3-pointers he missed, over 1.5. But I think Chet's great, man. Just everyone refuses to play Chet in tournaments, and I always love to take advantage of that. Especially with no J-Dub. There's just so much more usage to go around here. And then, did I mention I love Kaysen? I mean, if Lou Dort plays, I think he's a great value. He shot horribly in the first game, but it's not up yet, but I know he shot horribly. Hartenstein's going to have a bigger role with no J-Dub. He should play anywhere from like 25 to 30 minutes. He's 6.1K. I don't mind him at all either. So I think all these guys, man, look pretty damn good to me. And then I mentioned the values with no Caruso. Like Kaysen's going to play a ton. Aaron Wiggins is going to have to play a lot. He looks good. You're probably going to see a bit of AJ Mitchell, a little bit more AJ Mitchell, but I prefer the top guys that we went over as well. Maybe we get like more Brooks, etc. And then yeah, if we get man, if they're going to be without Kaysen and Dort here, which is certainly a possibility. I don't know if we got any updates there, but it could make sense to rest these guys. We'll see. But if they're out, I mean, Aaron Wiggins would look fantastic. Hartenstein's going to have to play a lot. They're going to have to run that double big lineup quite a bit if they're out. So like Hartenstein would look really good. Chet's going to have to play a ton. Like him, like these two guys being out affect the main guys quite a bit because they're going to have to play this double big lineup quite a bit with those guys out. And then Aaron Wiggins would look great. AJ Mitchell would be really solid. And then figuring out what they're going to do with the rest of the rotation. Like they're going to have to play these guys, right? In last game with everyone healthy, they only played, let's see, Brooks one stint. Jalen got some backup 5, Aaron Wiggins, and that's it. So, like, I'd imagine they'd have to enter these guys into the rotation. But Aaron Wiggins and AJ would definitely be the best to me, for sure. So there's going to be a lot to like here, for sure, on OKC tomorrow in this game. And then we get to the Pacers. Obviously, there's no T.J. McConnell. Obviously, no Tyrese Halliburton. So we know how to easily kind of project this team when Halliburton and T.J. McConnell are out. We've seen this before. This team's relatively similar, but just minus no Miles Turner, right? So pretty easy to project in my opinion. The only downside here is a really bad spot up against the Thunder, especially with that like double big lineup. Bad spot for Siakam for sure. Like getting to the rim and stuff is really tough on the Thunder. The way you want to attack them is like 3-point shootings, like guys, all these mid-range guys, I think we're in the better spots. But with that being said, yeah, no Siakam with the team to himself. I think he's a good contrarian play if you want to go there. I think he's probably going to project pretty well. I'm just worried about the matchup here. And then I really like Benedict Mathurin at $6,000. He's going to have to take a massive, massive step, and I don't really think they control his minutes here. So I think he's a really good point per dollar play. Nembhard, his assist numbers go way, way, way up with Halliburton and T.J. McConnell off the court. Just absurd numbers when they're both off. So I think he's not going to be as owned as he should be tomorrow. If you look at his like PRA lines, they're only like 22.5 or something. So I think Nembhard's really sneaky tomorrow if you want to go there. I think Mathurin higher ceiling, but I think both look good. If you want to make the argument for Nesmith, good 3-point shooting, 3-point spot. 3-point spot for him. You know, he likes to chuck from 3. Isaiah Jackson should start at the 5. I don't mind that for value. Obi Toppin's going to have to play a ton of minutes. They don't really have forward depth on this team, so I think Obi's going to play a ton. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but don't mind that. And then I don't think I'm going to get too much else, like Ben Shepherd. I think we're going to have too much value on that OKC side. All right, moving on to the Denver side of things. All these guys should play. I believe they're just have the Q tags from the preseason, but I believe they're all going to be in, so that's the way we're going to go over it. Yeah, so we saw kind of what the rotation's going to look like a little bit in that dress rehearsal preseason game they did up against the Bulls here. They did it for first half and one shift in the third quarter. And we saw, yeah, Jamal Murray, Braun, Jokic, Gordon, Cam Johnson as starters. Love the Cam Johnson move, by the way. And then Jonas back up 5. And then the big guys off the bench that are going to be a part of the rotation, the main 3 guys, Peyton Watson, Bruce Brown, and dusty old Tim Hardaway Jr. All right, yeah, Jokic, best spend up on the slate. We don't have to talk too much analysis into that. I know Jamal Murray's always been dealing with an injury. I know in the playoffs, was he sick last year? Was it 2 years ago? I'm not entirely sure. But this price point for Jamal is just absolute jokes. Similar to like that Austin Reeves price point from yesterday with LeBron out. I just think that price point's an absolute joke. So the top 2 guys look fantastic here. And I think Aaron Gordon's too cheap at 5.7K. Cam Johnson would be your pivot in tournaments. I have a feeling people are going to gravitate towards Aaron Gordon over Cam Johnson, but I think both look good. Braun's fine. Jonas will get the backup 5. He's firmly in play. And if I were playing any of the bench values, would be Bruce Brown or Peyton Watson. But I think, once again, that OKC value is probably going to dwarf that. All right, then we have the other game that we have here that we did get to see for night one, and that was Golden State. I would expect Al Horford to continue to come off the bench and be on around that 20-minute limit mark, so he's not really in play for me. And then, yeah, we saw Kuminga start and played 32 minutes, which is fantastic to see. Draymond 28 minutes, Pods 32 minutes. Nothing out of the ordinary here for Golden State. About what we expected. All right, yeah, looking at the top, I like the spots here quite a bit for both Steph and Jimmy Butler. I think Butler is an amazing play at 7.4K. I don't know what his final stat line was for game one, but I'm liking that price point. I'm liking that spot quite a bit here for Jimmy. I mean, yeah, man, 35 minutes, 31, 4, and 5, 7.4K it is. Like the spot too, so I think Jimmy is a fantastic play. Obviously, you can stuff the stat sheet. He'll have the ball in his hands a decent amount. He looks great. I love Steph as a tournament play if you don't want to play any of the other spend ups. Draymond's just super safe, like just super safe security blanket for Steve Kerr. God's gonna stuff the stat sheet, double upside. Like he's never going to bust. So if you want like a safe play, that's okay as well. And I don't mind Pods at 5'9". If he's going to continue to get 32 minutes, I think that's decent. Just going to be below in the pecking order. I think I prefer Kuminga. Like if I'm projecting Kuminga for 30 minutes and Pods for 30 minutes, I'm always taking Kuminga over him. And that gets me to Kuminga. I think he's a great play. I think he's going to be really popular tomorrow. But I think it's for good reason if we're going to continue to get close to 30 minutes from him. I'm not going to get the Buddy. I'm not going to chase that. I can't play Al Horford. Looking at the rest of the rotation, no, Reichard had a good game in the last couple minutes, or was it the fourth quarter? I think he went off. Not going to go there. GP2 only 12 minutes. Buddy Hield got extended because he went off in the third and fourth. I'm not going to go there either. So it's mainly just the starters for me. Alrighty, guys. I hope you guys had a fantastic couple days here. Get to chill for tomorrow. A little 2-game slate, and then we're back Friday for another massive slate. Hope to see you guys on Reddit.